Okay, I would have said good morning, Adankolo community, but I think it's noon already. So, good afternoon, Adankolo community. Um, while I was growing up as a teenager in the suburbs of Festac Town in Lagos, I had this big dream of being a lawyer, wear the robe and defend people's, advocate for their rights. And my dad would say, Beauty, don't worry, I'm saving up. You are going to go to law school in Abuja. I would say that I never lost any debate competition. I won prizes that I actually used in my high school. But something happened one fateful day. I was watching Africa Magic. I was in junior high then, and I saw where a lawyer was maimed because he refused to compromise on the truth. And the sitting judge then, his family was kidnapped, and he was under duress to do their bidding. And as a teenager with a very young and curious mind, I was frightened. And I told myself that, SAFIYAH, I would rather be a medical doctor, save lives, and get accolades. That very incident changed my perspective and my mindset and my career. And we were at loggerheads with my dad, but at the same time, being a very decisive person, a little bit obstinate. So if you want to convince me, you have to be able to give me evidences. Seeing is believing. That was my mantra while I was growing up. This brings me to say, emphasize on the fact that guidance is very, very important in parenting. I got lots of it, but at the same time, like I said, I had a very decisive mindset. So my high school finished, I finished high school and I started looking for admission into the uni. I had little difficulty, why? Because I was offered a lot of medical related courses, which I wasn't really interested in. So at some point, I said, instead of just whiling away time and keep writing jam, why not just go to the nursing school? And I applied and I got. I was in Delta State School of Nursing, ECU. But I still kept writing jam. And lucky for me, I gained the admission, medicine, into Barari University, Kano. And I went there and I started. But something happened, maybe for some obvious reasons, which is part of the issues in Nigeria at this moment. But I found myself and being moved to the Faculty of Agriculture alongside a few other students. And that day, my pain started because I had seen myself in my scrubs, my white scrubs, as a surgeon. So I told myself, why would I now be a farmer, holding hoe to the farm and tilling the soil under the scorching sun? So I kept writing jam, even though I was in school, because I still wanted to be a medical doctor. But guess what? After that jam that gave me admission, I never passed any. And I wrote jam until my third year in school. So that means I wrote jam 3 more consecutive times. And I don't know why I failed, because my grades in schools were very, very poor. It suffered so much. Why? Because I had more concentration on the JAM curriculum, so that I'll be able to pass, leave agriculture, and switch to medicine. So I was very lackadaisical though in class because I really need to focus on passing my JAM and getting medicine. Okay, this brings me to say that in life, you might have a lot of goals you want to achieve, but it's best for you to take them one after the other. You can't pursue so many goals at the same time. You find that out. It's either you achieve one and the other suffers, or you don't even achieve both of them. And even the one you think you achieved might not come out very good as much as it would have been if you had concerted all your efforts just one. So there are very, very few people that have pursued so many goals at the same time they're able to achieve. And if you look intricately, you still find out that there are some deficits. It could have actually come out best. And in life, we're always hoping for best. So this particular day, I was in class in my fourth year, yeah, and I was in agronomy class, a very bulky course I never fancied because too many details on crops, the anatomy, the physiology, the psychology, and all that. And I was eating apple, very less concerned. I was heavy with my daughter at the time. So Dr. Adnan Haminu was going through the class, and at some point, he decided to deviate from the main topic of the day and now started talking about the challenges bedeviling the agricultural sector. And he made a lot of bullet points. And there and then I told myself, SAFIYAH, this is the universe speaking to you. Why not just concentrate and make the best out of what life has offered you? You know, in life, you might really want some things, but when you don't get them, the ones in front of you, try to make the best out of them. And sometimes when you are focused on going somewhere, you tend to forget the little steps, the little opportunities that are in your front. You keep missing them. You understand? I once met someone that spent 7 years looking for JAMB just to go to the higher institution. Then I was still in secondary school, and I kept saying, all that 7 years, what was the person doing? It would have been even better if you are taking up some vocational skills, maybe go to NCE, do some other stuff you would have achieved. Depending when you think you want to get that goal. It's not bad for you to dream big, but at the same time, let's not overlook the little opportunities that are in our front. So some people will be like, oh, I want to start a business, I've not gotten funding. But before that funding comes, there were other opportunities that were in your front. But because your eyes was up, you would never be able to realize them. So that very moment, Sophie Farms was bettered. And I told myself, let me see how I can make impacts in the agricultural sector. And Sophie Farms has some very key objectives. Mitigating post-harvest loss, and we're looking at the tomato value chain. And today we have a product that is in the market, tomato powder instead of paste. So we worked on it for like 5 years, and today it's a product. And also have another product, the mixed cereal, which is trying to solve malnutrition and affordable feeding for teens, adolescents, and adults. So we're also looking at breeding the next generation of agric extension specialists. And also on this particular project of Catch Them Young, trying to see how we can make the young minds be attractive to agriculture. That being said, it wasn't easy. Like, there are some nights I sleep and I wet my pillow. There are some nights I cry very bitterly, like, how am I going to get my business up and running? So, and you see me smiling all through the day. There was even a day my younger brother was asking me, like, Sister Beauty, it looks like you don't think at all. You are not troubled. I said, who told you I don't trouble? I don't just wear it on my face. I cry every night. And after crying, I wipe my face, and I'll now start thinking, what next? So personally, I'm more of an initiator. So I keep thinking of ideas every now and then. If I think this is not moving, I'm always looking for the next way forward. I'm not stagnant. So after crying, I go wipe my face, and I think of ways, okay, let's take Sophie Farm to the left if it's not going the right. So coming to that, I want to categorically say today, based on my topic, the mindset of the youth towards agriculture, down and then. And the reason I made that story was I was trying to use myself as a case study. Like the normal average, everybody has had that issue where you want a course, it didn't work out, and all that. And I was able to work with agriculture. And I have a business that it might not really be very liquid at the moment, but it has perspective, and we are seeing where we are going to reach in the next maybe in the year 2030. So I would want to say that there are government policies that Nigerian has able to put into place, very beautiful policies. But the only problem we are faced today is poor implementation strategies, poor evaluation methodologies, nil bottom-top approach in needs assessments. You want to do a project for Adankolo community. You don't even come to spend time in Adankolo. You stay there in Abuja, in your desk, and you write everything. And you think Adankolo community needs water, whereas what they actually need is light. When we are floating inside water, so how do we need water? So that's the poor, nil bottom-top approach. You go downstream, you get to live with them, understand them, and know where it itches them, and come out with best policies. And the last one is insufficient agric extension services, which we as a firm has keyed into. And we are going to bring the next generation of agric extension specialists that are going to be self-reliant and even create job opportunities. There's just one policy I'm going to talk about, which is agricultural transformation agenda that was established by the former president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. It gives agriculture an outlook, a shift from it as a culture to seeing it as a business. Because the reason why so many people were attracted was because we saw agriculture as a culture. Oh, it's for our forebears, our grandfathers. It's like a culture, you see it, it's so crude. The smallholder farmers are actually living in the poverty cycle. So the ATA tries to inculcate financial literacy and see how farmers could actually, even while they have tilled the soil, plant their cassava, they can still have alternative source of income pending harvest. And when they harvest, how can they actually turn this money around to improve their livelihood? So this particular agenda transformed agriculture and made it more attractive. It actually brought more awareness to agriculture, more awareness about agriculture to the young minds. It opened up all the potentials along the value chains. I must confess that agriculture is one sector that's very vast, that even if all of us key into it, we couldn't key into all the aspects at the same time. It's going to be one aspect at a time. So there are so many opportunities there that you can key into, which the ATA now brought the essence of organizational partnership. You see sectors now trying to partner with agriculture, environment, ICT, food technology, biotechnology, communication, climate smart agriculture, and so forth and so forth. So if you have a business, there's always a way for you to key into agriculture. And I want to state here that with ATA in place, and it has brought up a lot of, let me say, soft landing for young minds, that today, 60% of startups are in the agro ecosystem. So that's why during my years while I was still growing, while I was building Sophie farms, in between all that, I indulged in volunteer in a lot of developmental projects. And in one of them, I was given the mandate to chair an initiative for peace advocacy in Kogi State. And the only singular agenda I had was using agribusiness as a tool to prevent violent extremism. Because I'm one person that believes in this school of thought that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So if you want these youths that are being engaged in social vices to drop their weapons and become more responsible and peaceful, what do you then give them in return? I say we give them plows, hoes, tractor to do something that's going to benefit them and benefit the society. And we have been on that, and that's why I said a mentorship program recently. It's free of charge. You can key into it if you are interested. So we are still going to give support to people who are interested in engaging in agribusiness, taking it up as a startup. And that comes to another reason why we are here today. I want to say my heart goes to all the farmers in Adankolo community that were really affected by the flood. It's a very big disaster. People who were close to harvest, they lost their crops. People who were just planting for the sesame farmers and others, they lost what they've planted, and now they are so devastated. And that's why I want to say, please, let's key into the climate smart agriculture, green revolution, because in as much as the flood was a disaster, one that has happened, and we are still saying, okay, maybe in the next 10 years it's going to happen. It's like something that is premeditated. It got escalated because of climate change. So please, start growing one tree, because just 5 trees can eliminate 1 ton of carbon. And also the carbon credit investment is in place. A lot of funds have been put there. So if you think your business, you use charcoal and it creates carbon, please try to be innovative so that when the carbon credit investment fund is out, you can be one of those beneficiaries. Why? Because the fund is going to be going to those people who their businesses are carbon friendly. So carbon friendly means that your business is one that's not adding carbon in the society. It's not adding carbon into the atmosphere, but rather it's trying not to add and also maintaining a serene atmosphere for human existence. Why? Because climate change, you might have been looking away from it, but right now the conversation is on. Because we just have to. And I'm telling you, by 2030, everyone, in fact, this is an emphatic in the conference I attended just recently, that in every 5 households, 1, they are just going to be farmers. And in 2040, every household will have a garden where you can have your vegetable and your fruits and your horticulture, everything there. So if you have not keyed into agriculture, please do. But while you want to do so, make sure you get the knowledge, the basic knowledge to it. Make sure you want to start a poultry, make sure you have that knowledge about poultry, what it's all about, and how to maintain it. Don't just jump into it. Why? Because you saw some article on YouTube or Google. It's good for you to take some things, but agriculture is actually very sensitive. It requires that basic knowledge, perseverance, commitment, resilience, and also have it at the back of your mind that it might fail. So when you want to start your agribusiness, put failure, put risk inside your business model. So I'm going to leave you all with just one keyword, that we should drop our weapons and take our plows and till the soil, cultivate for everyone to eat in peace rather than in pieces, because the next generation of billionaires are going to be farmers. So are you a farmer? Good afternoon, Agribusiness.